Morning, everyone. Clint Rawls here, Delta Valves and Controls. Just wanted to go over basically a step-by-step video on how to mount the YT3400 RSA positioner to a rotary spring and diaphragm 1051, 1052 actuator. What I got here, it's a little difficult to open, but we're just going to do a quick unboxing. So you've got these two. This is a very universal positioner, so it's meant to mount on darn near anything. You can see this bracket. It's a Numar mount or Namur mount for rack and pinion actuators, Scotch yokes, things like that. That will not be needed in this situation. So you got this little box of bolts here. You've got your feedback link arm and your positioner. In order to mount this to our spring and diaphragm, we need this rotary MTG-kit, rotary mounting kit. Just comes with a couple of brackets and your feedback link adapter for your hub. Anyhow, that's it. Let's get started. All right, on to the valve. So this is a 3-inch 600 class V100 with a 1052 size 40. We're gonna basically just begin by removing the travel indicator. So we're not going to need that. We're just going to set it to the side. So what it's going to be replaced by is this adapter. So it's got the inner two holes that are smaller pitch circle diameter. That's going to be for your size 40s. You've got the larger pitch circle diameter holes. That's going to be for your 60s and 70s. But essentially, your link is what's going, your feedback link is what's going to screw into here. It does come with the screws to install this, so go ahead and get those in. Doesn't matter which direction or which side, it's threaded all the way through. So just find the holes, screw it on, go from there. I always like to make sure those screws are pretty good and tight, not break tight, but near it. So now you've got these little adapter brackets. So you've got a left and a right. Obviously the right goes on the right, left goes on the left. In that same baggie, the rotary mounting kit, it comes with screws. So you've got these, oh man, wow. You've got these 4 screws, and it's got lock washers and flat washers. That's what you're gonna use. The bracket is going to basically sit with the ears outward. So the mounting ears outward. When I'm initially installing this, I do not tighten these, and whenever I just snug them by hand with the extension, I just make sure that it's pulled all the way outward on this one and all the way outward on that one. and then after I put my outer bracketry on, it'll pull the bracket to center, and with it pulling it to center, that's where you want it to be, in the most relaxed state. And after that's done, then I'll come in with a little wrench or ratchet wrench and I'll tighten these from the outside. So now I'll just start by installing my link. I typically screw this in, I don't know, 3/4 of the way. About there. Alrighty, so now that we got that loosely installed, we're going to pull our positioner out, and the bracket that we want to use basically has this weird slot in there. Well, that is so that feedback link can rotate with clearance, and we're going to install it the only way it will bolt on. Now these bolts will come out of your little box of bolts, and it's just a 13mm head and a flat washer. We're just going to bolt that on. All right, now next I like to just get a couple of the Allen bolts. These go through the side brackets, and I normally like to have a couple of them in my hands so that whenever I go to mount this, I don't have to support it so much. Once I get, there's a pin, a centering pin here that actually goes into the hole in the feedback link, and then there's this. So I want to guide all of it together at the same time. Now there is multiple holes you can put these in, but you just got to find the one that the bracket looks, lines up square and flush with. So now I've got all 4 Allen bolts installed, so it's not going to fall off, it's not going anywhere. But now you've got lock washer and the nut. nuts are a 10mm. And let's see here, 3/16 Allen wrench. So 10mm and 3/16 Allen wrench. All right, they're locked down. Now, I gotta go grab a wrench, be right back. All right, so these nuts that we originally put on and left loose, they are 5/16. So for me, I'm gonna use my little ratchet wrench. Get in here and tighten them up. All right, that portion is complete. So now, I've already got this thing pre-fitted. So all I'm gonna do here, this is just plastic tubing for testing purposes. I'm just gonna hook this up so my supply from my regulator goes straight into the supply port, and these ports are marked on the side. It does say supply. And then this port is marked here right behind the gauge, output, or output 1. There's no need to even go to the manual for that one. All right, so now I'm just gonna flip the cover so you can loosen these 3 screws and flip that cover. And for me, I'm gonna pull my conduit cap. I'm gonna pull the camera down here. So a very important step here that a lot of people I think have trouble with is the linkage. So if you see this actuator, so you've got this spring adjuster here, there's a spring under here, and it's holding tension. It is pushing the diaphragm plate and shaft upward. And then in here you've got a turnbuckle. Now this actuator can be oriented like this, or it could be flipped around. So in this position, when it pushes down, it's pushing offset, so it's going to push that link this away. Fail here, stroke to here, fail here. So with that being said, let's see if I can get the best position or angle on this as possible. That being said, you want this adjuster, you want it way up here there's a couple of stops in here that it only travels so far. So if you lock this down incorrectly like this, that's incorrect. When it goes to stroke, it's going to push down and it's going to hit that stop and it's going to break something. So for me, I bring it all the way up. I give it about I'd say about a business card gap. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So right here, I can't really get my finger in. See that gap? So that's hitting the stop. That's about a business card gap. Might be a fat business card there, but it's close enough. Does not have to be spot on perfect. And then you're gonna take your 10 millimeter. Well, you gotta watch it because as you tighten, it might move. So I'm gonna put it against the stop. I'm gonna tighten it. And, this might be hard to do with a camera in my hand. Okay, I'm gonna bring it here. Okay. And tightening and right there. Okay, so now we have it set so when we're looking at it, strokes counterclockwise. All right, so now that we got the feedback link and everything set up, we're just gonna hook our wires up. Positive, positive, negative, negative. Of course, I can't see that thing to save my life. All right, now that we got our feedback link hooked up, now we just got to connect our wires. It's a little bit hard to see in that junction box, but it's just positive, positive, negative, negative. Okay, so now I'm going to pull the camera off and we are going to switch over. All right, so now we got our connection hooked up. I'm trying to get y'all the best lighting I can get so you can see everything accurately. I'm going to kick my power on from my 4 to 20 milliamp source. And I'm just looking, let me get this thing raised up. Trying to get y'all the best lighting I can, but so I got the power set up. And hopefully you can read this screen. It says run app. So it's running application. So all I want to do is you've got positive, negative, enter, escape. We want to press the enter button with the arrow and hold it down until the screen changes. So now you can see it abbreviates, but it's saying calibrate. So I'm just going to hit enter again. Single, of course, you can program it however you want, but this is single acting. Now it says auto 1, so that's auto cal 1, auto cal 2. We typically always run auto cal 2. Auto cal 1 is just an in general, it doesn't test for hysteresis, friction, process, friction, things like that. Auto cal 2 does. Now if you've got graphite packing, you need to go to auto cal 3 because it really tests for hysteresis there, and will set everything up just right. So in this instance, 90% of the time auto cal 2 works perfect. Just hit enter. So you can hear it's now beginning to stroke. So basically it's going to run through the motion, stroking backwards and forwards and 50%, minute bits at a time. And it's just checking everything out. What it takes to move the valve initially, 50%, what it takes to move the valve 1 to 2%, things like that. Typically takes, I don't know, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. It really depends on the actuator size and how long it takes to stroke. Yeah, size 70 might take all of 5 minutes. Right there, it was just incrementally increasing until the valve began to move. So it's checking the initial bench start. See, right now it's just dialing in 50% travel. And now it says complete. Hopefully you can see that, but it says complete there. So once it says complete, we can hit escape 1, 2, 3 times. Now it goes back to run application. You can see it's sitting at 0%. Let's see here. There's 25, 50, 75, and 100%. $75, 50, 25, and 0. Anyhow, that about does it. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up, Clint Rawls, Delta Valves and Controls, or you can email me at Clint@deltavalvesandcontrols.com. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.